Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The Honorable Judges of AKSI. All praise to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for all blessings given to us, so that we are be able to gather here in a very wonderful situation. My name is Rayhan Henindyas, and please allow me to deliver a speech entitled Friendship in Islam. First of all, I would like to define the meaning of friendship in Islam. Friendship in Islam is one of the blessings given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to mankind, and also the function of Islamic religion itself. This has been exist since a long time ago. And also, this is one of the behavior of human as a social creatures. Many people would say, friendship in Islam, is that a really important thing to be discussed? And the answer is yes, absolutely yes. Why? For example, there was a story of friendship between Salman al-Farisi and Abu Darda. That time, Salman al-Farisi was one of the Muhammad's friend from Persia. He left his hometown in order for searching the light of truth. He was ready to get married because he already knew the perfect woman that fulfilled all of his criteria and took a place inside of his heart. But unfortunately, she lived in Medina, and however, Salman felt strange in Medina because it's not his hometown. So he asked for help from his friend Abu Darda, and finally he managed to getting a marriage. That was a story that told us the importance of friendship in Islam, because it has two sides, good and a bad side. Nowadays, teenagers will make friends because of what they like, such as their hobbies, their favorite activities, and many else. Sometimes it could lead to a good thing, but sometimes it also couldn't. For an example, there was a teenager who liked to smoke, but he doesn't have enough courage to do it alone at home. So he will look for a community who have the same habit, so he will gain enough courage to do it. That was one of the problem of friendship in Islam nowadays. But is that the only problem that is exist? No, there are many more. One example, we as a Muslim are allowed to being friends with each other. But what has become a danger is when this friend becomes something that more than just a friend. For example, there is a friendship between a boy and a girl. Well, that's a normal thing and allowed, right? But what isn't allowed is when the friendship becomes something more than just a friend, a couple relationship. This is what isn't allowed in Islam. Wait, so that means that we aren't allowed to making friends with girl? No, we're allowed, but in the limitations that already state in Quran, just like what Islam taught. Is that it? Are those two the only problem of friendship in Islam nowadays? No, there are still many more. One more example. We, as a Muslim, are prohibited to doing sin and being enemy to each other. We can find this in Surah Al-Ma'idah verse 2. وَتَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْبِرِّ وَالتَّقْوَى وَلَا تَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْإِثْمِ وَالْعُدْوَانِ. Help you in righteousness and taqwa, and do not help each other in committing sins and being enemy to each other. But unfortunately, the part of do not help each other in committing sins is already started to being ignored by nowadays teenagers. The easiest example is cheating. Cheating in an exam. Why? Because nowadays teenagers will do anything to get a good score. Instead of studying, they choose the wrong way, cheating. Is it wrong? Of course, it's one of the part of doing sin, and unfortunately, this has been already started and is very hard to be changed. They did it throughout many ways, in group, with paper, messaging, and many else. In the end, I would like to tell you all as a teenagers to become selective in choosing friends. Why? Some people would say that we are allowed to making friends with anybody, but we have to choose who will be our close friends. Is it giving us a good and positive effect or a negative effect? Why? Because in the end, we will be gathered with who we love. We can find this in Hadith from Bukhari, number 6170, and Muslim, number 2640. You will be gathered with who they love. Who they love could be a universal meaning. The word they could be friends, and this means we could be gathered with our friends in the end to Allah's heaven, Jannah. So this is why we have to choose who will be our friend, especially our close friends. Is it giving us a good and positive effect or a negative effect? Because it could lead to Allah's heaven, Jannah, if it's giving a good and positive effect, and otherwise it could lead to the hell, nar, if it's giving a negative effect. I think that's all of my speech. I hope it is useful for all of us. Thank you very much for your attention. May Allah bless us all. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.